As we enter into 5775, the new year in the Jewish calendar, I'm grateful for this opportunity to speak with you. This year, the sermons follow. We've had a lot of revamping in the past year, actually in the past few months here at Beit Shuvah. We have a new clinical director. I think she's in the back there. Why don't you stand up, Dr. Stacy Cohen. She has taken our clinical program and revamped it almost completely into actually a more cohesive and a more sensible way of doing things to help people recover both their essence, their souls, and their sanity. We have a new Chief Operating Officer, Mr. Michael Werner. Michael, why don't you stand up? Michael has brought order and rules to Beit Shuvah, which anybody who knows anything about Harriet and myself, if you have a rule, we have to break it. And we have decided to go along with it, and we're very grateful. There's already been a change in what we're doing. So I'm grateful for this opportunity in the sermons for myself and Shai. I'm going to do tonight and tomorrow. Shai's going to do on Friday. Then on Kol Nidre, Matt and I are going to have a dialogue, and on Yom Kippur, Shai and I are going to have a dialogue. And they're going to follow the recovery tasks that have been laid out in our Beit Shuvah, oh gosh, One Grain of Sand handbook that was done so beautifully and so kindly and so brilliantly by Doctors Ronnie and Charles Blakely. The first recovery task is sanctuary or safety. So in Hebrew, when we're told to build a sanctuary, the Hebrew word is mikdash. I'm going to define this at the end, but I want you just to think about it, just to keep that word. So one of the things to remember is that the sanctuary in the temple was not built by God, but it was built by us. So sanctuary has never been anything that God builds. It's what God tells us we have to create. And in creating a sanctuary, we have to create a place that's holy, a place that's safe, a place where God dwells with us, among us. And it's our place. So sanctuary becomes this question for me: how are we building sanctuaries? And what does it mean? Is my home a sanctuary? Is it a place where Harriet and I can go? And the other thing about sanctuary is there was never supposed to be peace, like, never. We never had in Jews. We're Jews, we can't have Just so you know, it's impossible. So, sanctuary and safety means, do I have a place where I can argue with my wife, where I can wrestle with my wife, where she can help me be the best person I can be, even when I don't want to? And is it safe for her to do that? Most of the time I would say yes. Sometimes I get crazy. So, is my home a sanctuary? Is it a place where people can walk in and feel like, you know what, I'm wanted. I'm wanted in this place. I know that Harriet and I have created a place where both of us know we belong and that we're wanted. My question is, for you and your family, do you know, can you say that the home you've created is a place that people want to belong? Is it a sanctuary? Is it really some place that you enjoy wrestling, enjoy celebrating, but most of all, enjoy being real with the people in your home and and the people you invite in. Because we live a life so many times, so many people. We see it every day, people who have lived lives of hiding, lives of wanting to seem like it all looks good on the outside. And the inside is so fragmented. The inside is so scared. So in creating safety, sanctuary in my home, I have to make sure that anybody that walks in knows this is a place of truth, it's a place of connection, it's a place of love, and it's a place of growing. Very, very important. And then I go to the next place, is my work, a safe sanctuary. Now, if you ask many of the people that work at Beit Shuvah, you would probably get maybe. Because they would say that the rabbi's erratic. I don't think I'm erratic at all. I really don't. I think that people know what I'm going to get crazy about, and when they push the boundaries, I get crazy. I don't think that's erratic. I think it's very normal, at least for me. But, someone else might not take it that way. So what have we created here? The truth is that Beit Shuvah is a sanctuary because for the most part, it's a place that you feel comfortable coming. You wouldn't be here tonight if you didn't feel like you could belong. The people that work here, they know that they have jobs. I hope that everybody that works here knows that they're not going to lose their job tomorrow if they make a mistake. Because that's never been the case. The residents who come here, who you've heard speak tonight, they know that there's sanctuary here because all of them have made mistakes since they walked in and we didn't throw them out. In fact, I'll tell you how serious we are about sanctuary here. Once every 6 to 8 weeks, we have an amnesty where residents are told, write down anything and everything you've done wrong that you didn't get caught for. So that you can be clean and not hide. No one has ever been thrown out because they wrote something down, even if they did, unless they did something really terrible. But if they used in the house or anything like that, we've still kept them because you know why? I would rather have somebody know that they can tell the truth and be accepted and know that they have a safe place to tell the truth and do tshuva than have them hide and maybe go die. Sanctuary. Is it safe for visitors to come here? Well, yes and no. It's not safe for a visitor to come here if you want to hide because we don't put up with it. I mean, you can just do a drive-by. But as any board member, as any person who's involved with us, any of our many, many volunteers know that you got to be real if you're going to be here because not being real is too excruciatingly painful. So it's safe to be real. That's what sanctuary really is. It's a place to be safe and be you. The false sanctuary are the places where you have the smile on your face or someone is smiling at you and looking to use you, looking to knife you, looking to do anything that they can to step over you. Sanctuary. The problem with sanctuary is that sometimes I defile it. Just like our people. We got thrown out of the temple once, Babylonians. Second time, the Romans. The main reason is We defiled the land, we defiled the temple with our actions. With our sinat chinam, with our senseless hatred. So we defile our spaces when we need to make somebody else a bad guy. We defile our spaces when we're unaccepting of a different way. We defile ourselves, we defile our space, we defile any chance of being with God when we say there's only one way. When we need to make somebody else a bad guy, when we have to talk about hostile work environments, when we have to throw out all of these crazy things just to make ourselves feel better, when there's a divorce and we have to make the other person mad, all of those things that we do every day, and you hear about it in the papers, that the Republicans hate the Democrats hate the Republicans, the Libertarians hate everybody. That's defilement. That makes the world unsafe. Drug addicts, alcoholics, addicts of any kind, we make the world unsafe because we're terrorists. People who constantly are victims, they're terrorists. They're terrorists of the soul. I know that I terrorized my mother. I terrorized my sister. I terrorized my brother. I terrorized my daughter. All those years I was out there. My brother, my mother, my sister, they didn't know if they waited for the call that I was dead in California. That's defiling their sanctuary. I still defile. I make mistakes. I get angry. I get angry at stupidity. I should be more patient. It's not my nature. Ask my mother. I come by it legitimately, right, Mom? See? Thanks God, I finally have validation. My mother validated me. Boy, this is a great sanctuary. And I can get back. In Leviticus, it talks about all of our sins. And it says, what happens when you made a mistake? Do tshuva, return. Tshuva isn't something that's relegated to Elul. It's not relegated to the 10 days. The Aseret, you made tshuva, the 10 days of repentance, return. Tshuva is open all the time. So, by doing tshuva, I'm vulnerable. By telling you I make mistakes that staff can use against me, and they have, that you can use against me, and some of you have, that my colleagues use against me, and some of them have. I can no longer be afraid of the bullets that come. What's most important is that I stay vulnerable, I stay open to my, in need of doing my own tshuva, and you stay open and vulnerable and in need of doing your own tshuva, so that we come together in places of truth, of reconnection, of love. That's the beauty of our tradition. That's why we returned to the land of Israel in 1948. Because God ordained that tshuva would always be part of this world. And it doesn't matter about your politics, about Israel or anything else. Tomorrow, on your seats, there's going to be a thing for Israel bonds, and I'll talk about it then. But Israel is the place, that's the original sanctuary. It's the place that Avraham Avinu was. It's the land of our forefathers. This place, Avraham Avinu dwells here. This place, in this sanctuary, God dwells when you and I invite God in, when we're vulnerable, when we're willing to be wrong, and we don't need to make somebody else wrong so we can be right. I said, remember the word mikdash. Asuli mikdash. They will make for me a mikdash. Comes from the word kadosh. Sanctuary is the place where we rise up, we're elevated. It's the place where we separate ourselves from our false selves. And most importantly, it's the place where we reach out to connect. That's my prayer. That's my commitment. That's my wish. You have in your books, your cards. Every year I give out cards. This one for tonight. I commit to build an elevated, separated, and connected place to dwell with God and to dwell with others. That's my commitment to you, and I ask you to say yes for that being your commitment to yourself and to everybody else. So can I get a yes? Yes. Come on. Yes. Oh, one more time. Yes. The Shana Tova Tikate.